a real good feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you spit. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we are going to be going over all kinds of recent events that have happened in Bitcoin. At 6:07 yesterday, Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency market dropped 5% in 7 minutes, and then relatively soon thereafter, the entire cryptocurrency market dropped an additional 15% in an hour and 6 minutes. This, more than likely, happened as a result of a tweet coming out from Elon Musk saying that Tesla was no longer going to be accepting Bitcoin as Bitcoin is, quote unquote, a danger and a risk to the environment. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially the point. We're going to be talking about that tweet, its impacts on the cryptocurrency market, where cryptocurrency goes next, Tesla, Elon Musk, and we're going to be going over several misunderstandings about what constitutes Bitcoin being risky and Bitcoin not being good for the environment. Guys, we have a lot to talk about in today's video. We're actually going to wrap out the stream with some Cardano TA because Cardano obviously didn't get the memo because Cardano is up, I think, 5% in the last 24 hours. We are joined as always by my co-host and your president, 9 Touchdown Tim. How you doing, Tim?
What's up, everybody? Back in my normal seat. Doesn't have as much power, but it's comfortable, you know. Yeah. It ain't no PewDiePie chair.
It ain't no PewDiePie chair. What's the status on that? Do we have that coming in?
So while it has not been purchased, it is a done deal. Ooh. We are getting Smengatang his PewDiePie chair because, if you guys watched the ad, Smengatangs need PewDiePie chairs.
Smengatangs need PewDiePie chairs. If you don't get that reference, then make sure to go and check us out at CryptoJebb over on Instagram. That video is over there, and it's quite funny. You're not going to want to miss it. Speaking of, we are joined as always by your Smengatang. How you doing, Smang?
Hi, everybody.
How's your tooth feeling?
How's your tooth feeling?
Oh, it's much better, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, he had a root canal yesterday. That was probably unpleasant. He kept walking around the office saying, "You think I want to go and get a hole drilled in my mouth?" And we're like, no, probably not. So that's fine. Someone was asking where was I yesterday. I have a monthly plan. I have a monthly meeting I go to on the second Wednesday of every single month. And then the day before that, Tim and I and our head of marketing were at a quarterly planning meeting. And so that's where we were. But now we are back. We are going to be having a lot of fun in today's stream, and I am very much looking forward to it. Tim, what are you looking forward to most in this stream? Because you were in charge of planning this meeting, and we got some fun things to talk about. I'm excited.
Here. You know, we were just discussing there might have been a slight. It's really hard when you look at the charts to know the exact time stamp of things. But what we have found was while Elon's tweet was responsible for some of this dip, it's not the only thing responsible.
Absolutely.
And I'm actually more concerned about that other piece of news than I am about Elon. So we'll dive into that with this whole stream.
Yeah, guys, at the end of the day, I want you to understand something, and I'm going to make this point very briefly, but it is something I want you to remember. For everyone who's in a Dogecoin or in an XRP or even in Bitcoin, we have to be careful about building a market on the back of one man or one woman's opinion. There has been a lot of hype injected into the cryptocurrency market because of Elon Musk and Tesla, but the thing I've told you guys before with Dogecoin, and this is true also for Bitcoin, is that whenever you have one man or one woman or one entity backing a project, what you have is centralization. And as we've seen over the last 24 hours, if that man, woman, or entity all of a sudden switches their tone, that can be catastrophic for the cryptocurrency market. But in this case, we saw a pretty big dump on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has actually already recovered most of what it's lost. And I think there are many other reasons behind what we are talking about. I went over the support levels that we needed to pay attention to yesterday. That went out a little bit before this dump, so I'm glad you guys had that information moving into it. But really quickly, let's go ahead and jump onto my screen. I'm going to read you the tweet for anyone who has missed it, coming out of none other than Mr. Musk himself. At Elon Musk over on Twitter, notice the time here, 6:06 p.m. yesterday, that's Eastern Standard Time. He tweets this: Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel. Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, and we believe it has a promising future, but this cannot come at great cost to the environment. Interesting. Tesla will not be selling any of their Bitcoin. That's a very good point. We intend to use it for transactions as soon as mining transitions to more sustainable energy. We are looking at other cryptocurrencies that use less than 1% of Bitcoin's energy per transaction. So let's go back to full screen. Let's discuss this. Here's the thing, guys. There are many things in this world that use a lot of electricity. In fact, we're going to mention this later, but Christmas uses more electricity than Bitcoin. And I don't see anyone boycotting Christmas. There are plenty of things that are going to use energy, but that's simply the nature of our modern world. Yes, we want to become as renewable as possible. I don't think anyone would disagree that we want to be moving to sustainable energy sources whenever we can. But at the end of the day, the value proposition that Bitcoin brings to the table is far, far better than any kind of energy deficit or any kind of energy and fossil fuel expenditure that it provides. And we're going to talk about that more here in a little bit. But starting off, guys, there are some points that we want to make here. Number one, we want to talk about the timing of this. Let's go ahead and jump onto my screen. I want to show you the chart. Remember, I told you to pay attention to that time. We saw that tweet drop at 6:06 p.m. Now, guys, I've told you many times that there are no certainties in the cryptocurrency market. There are no certainties in markets at all. But sometimes correlations are simply too strong to ignore. 6:06 p.m., this tweet comes out, May the 12th. 6:07 p.m., here on the minute chart, we see that Bitcoin pulls back from $54,700, and in 7 minutes, it is down $2,500, down 4.6%, down to $52,200. I think it's very difficult to argue that this did not happen as a result of this tweet. That being said, there is something that you need to pay attention to as well, and that's context. Yes, Bitcoin dropped when Elon Musk made that tweet, and yes, Bitcoin pulled back when he made that tweet, but as we talked about in yesterday's video that went out 4 hours before this tweet went live, Bitcoin was already in a correction. In fact, Bitcoin was already in the process of breaking major support levels when this tweet broke. If you guys will notice here, I have an uptrending level of support on my chart here, and I think that, Tim, did you draw this uptrending level of support? I think that's actually...
I redid a chart, so you have to read...
I think that's actually yours. I was looking, I'm like, I didn't draw that. I guess Tim did that yesterday on the stream. But the point I'm making here is that, as you can see, there is this uptrending level of support that if Tim put that there is perfect. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. We have this uptrending level of support, and truth be told, it actually belongs up here. So that is more like what we're looking at. As you can see, we were already in the process of breaking bearish out of this. We were already in the process of testing and pulling back below $55,400, which, as we talked about in yesterday's video, is a critical level of support. So yes, when Elon Musk went on Twitter and posted this tweet, there was a large correction. But just because he caused a large correction, and we saw over the span of a couple of hours, as you can see here, in 2 hours flat, we pulled back 15%, and the rest of the cryptocurrency market will follow, except for one. We'll talk about Cardano in a minute. There was already a major correction going on, and we're going to dive into not only the impact that Elon Musk had on the market yesterday, but we're also going to dive into that correction that had nothing to do with Elon Musk yesterday. So let's go back to full screen and let's discuss this. Tim, What are you thinking about this, buddy?
Yeah, so again, I had to look at the chart. I don't have the same chart that Jebb has when I was looking at TradingView. I didn't buy it. I operate with the free one, so I don't get to look at the minutely chart. But
which we are going to correct.
Someone just commented on it. The thing is, was it as the disastrous crash of Bitcoin, or the big drops came after that tweet? But look at what is happening on the chart. It was dropping beforehand, and like I said earlier in the stream when we first started, the reason it was dropping to me is a bigger deal and something we should pay more attention to than the Elon tweet.
Absolutely, guys. You got to realize whenever a tweet comes out or some news breaks or someone comes out and says something about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, whether positive or negative, oftentimes it's completely forgotten and priced into the market within 48 hours. Any effect from this Elon Musk tweet is already done. It's already over. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Tesla adopting Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, and accepting Bitcoin was a big deal because now a lot of people have heard about it. That's already happened. Them not accepting Bitcoin anymore can't stop the fact that them accepting it at one point spread the word. The point that we made on this channel 3 months ago when Tesla started accepting Bitcoin was not that, oh my gosh, Tesla accepting Bitcoin is going to be the future of Bitcoin. The point was, this is going to get the word out. Them retracting that and no longer accepting Bitcoin actually has zero fundamental impact on Bitcoin. It has like a small one because all of a sudden one use case of Bitcoin buying Teslas is out the door, but whatever. That's a tiny fraction of the overall use case of Bitcoin. The point with Tesla buying and adopting Bitcoin as one of their payment options was to get the word out and to show everyone, hey guys, Bitcoin's this thing that we trust and we think is really cool. They can't take that back. They open Pandora's box and they can't put her back in that box. Them retracting their stance on Bitcoin actually has zero fundamental impact on Bitcoin, which is why I'm not actually that concerned about it correcting 15% in 2 hours as a result of this news. It's FUD. Let me wrap that up in a nice, neat bow for you. This is FUD. That's all it is. It's nothing that we need to be worried about. We want to look at the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals saying? And that's something we're going to talk about here in a second because we're going to talk about inflation. I was at a roundtable with 12 other CEOs here in town, and I'm going to tell you a couple of the market things that they were looking at. We were talking about how raising lumber prices. We've seen the workforce shrink as stimulus checks are causing people to stay at home. There are tons of fundamental factors right now that we need to pay attention to because those are going to drive long-term price appreciation on Bitcoin. And this is kind of funny. Someone said this in chat a few minutes ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm quoting, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't electric cars take electricity also? Good question. It's a valid question.
It's true. Yeah.
So let's see. What do we have going on in chat here? Any questions you guys have about this? Any comments? Let's keep them polite. Please go ahead and leave them. I would love to see what you guys are thinking about this. I saw this break yesterday, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you guys are talking about in chat here.
I'm looking at the chat. Like, people are making comments. They're preach it, Jebb. They agree with you. Some people are giving speculation. People are asking about Cardano, which we're going to be covering here in
we're getting to that soon.
I don't know, 20 minutes or so.
Yep.
But I would say let's go ahead and talk about the next bit of what we wanted to do with what is happening to the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gabe actually just said in chat something that will lead perfectly into that point. He said it ain't the stimulus checks. It's unemployment paying higher than minimum wage jobs. Now, we try not to touch politics too much here on the channel, but in the United States, this is something that we're struggling with. We have our monthly meeting in a boardroom in a hotel here in town, and half of the staff at this hotel wasn't there. The food delivery truck didn't show up because the truck drivers are not they would prefer to go and work at a different job because the economy is all jacked up right now because of all of the unemployment that's going on. There's a woman named Desiree who serves us while we're there, and she was talking about how all of her coworkers are gone, so she's having to man the bar, she's having to man the restaurant, she's having to take care of us, she's having to man the front desk because half of her coworkers, to quote her, would rather sit at home and collect unemployment. There is a major worker shortage going on right now, and that is leading to higher prices. It's not helping with the inflation problem, and let's go ahead and talk about that inflation problem because it is a very big deal, and it might look like a bad thing for Bitcoin because the economy is unstable. In fact, this is the biggest reason why Bitcoin will become wildly successful in the long run. So my friends, just because Bitcoin corrected over the last 7 days, do not be scared. Do not be afraid. Have faith in the process. This project is as strong today as it ever has been. Let's jump onto my screen. U.S. inflation is up 4.2%, but Bitcoin is still down. The consumer price index just registered its biggest increase in over 12 years. So why isn't the price of Bitcoin going up too? In brief, the U.S. Department of Labor showed statistics that that inflation is rising dramatically. The price of Bitcoin is down 15% over the last month. Bitcoin may be an inflationary hedge to many, but it's also seen as a speculative asset. This leads us into one of our first misunderstandings about Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is extremely risky, which I disagree with. We're going to talk about that in a second, but first let's walk through this article. The U.S. Consumer Price Index, which measures how much people are paying for goods and services, rose 4.2% from April 2020 to April 2021. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, that is the biggest one-year increase seen since September of 2008. Moving on. Inflation is on the rise in America, which of course means worried investors are funneling cash into Bitcoin as a hedge, right? Actually, the price of Bitcoin is dropping. It's down 5% today and 10% in the past month. After a fast-paced rise from blah, 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 we can leave it at that. Let's go back to full screen. I want to go ahead and explain to you what I see going on right now. The last 3 months, we have seen a ton of people getting into the cryptocurrency space based on hype. Let me say that again. A ton of people are getting into the cryptocurrency space based on hype, because they want to make money quickly, because they want to buy something and sell it 2 days later and be a billionaire. That's why you see all this money going into crappy altcoins, right? Now, what we're seeing is more people are coming into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency based on its fundamentals, based on its hardness against inflation. For example, in my meeting yesterday, lots of people were looking at buying Bitcoin when 6 months before most of them had never even heard about it. These are very wealthy individuals. We're talking about people that are very interested in staying hard and resistant towards inflation, and they are now looking at Bitcoin. I tell you what, I am seeing so much, because I'm around business executives quite a bit lately, I have seen so many very wealthy people that didn't even know what Bitcoin was 6 months ago. All of a sudden, they're asking me questions. They're saying, hey, can I sit down and have lunch with you? I'm having lunch with a pastor who's in Bitcoin a week from now. Anyway, the point is, Bitcoin is being realized for what it is. People are realizing that Bitcoin is hard to inflation. People are realizing that Bitcoin was designed for exactly the problem the U.S. government and the rest of the world economy is experiencing right now, rising inflation. So yes, Bitcoin is down, but I have a theory as to why it is. I think, disregarding this Elon Musk news, which as much as I'm concerned, I don't think is actually that big of a deal at all. I think it's already priced in and irrelevant at this point. What I'm seeing happen is a lot of people are joining the cryptocurrency space based on hype. Some of them are staying because, oh my gosh, the fundamentals of this are incredible. This is the future of currency. I'm going to stay. But all of a sudden, Bitcoin isn't quite as sexy as it was 2 or 3 months ago, because it's not going up 1,000% every 6 months now. A lot of people are leaving it because they got bored. I've been saying this is a problem in cryptocurrency for a couple of months now. There are tons of people in the cryptocurrency space that are not here for strong fundamentals. They're here for hype. And that is not a strong foundation. However, that foundation, as weak as it is still growing very quickly. I wouldn't say that it's weak, excuse me, but it's not responsible for all $50,000 worth of Bitcoin's price. But that foundation of strong investors who have diamond hands and are here for the right reasons is growing every single day. And that is why I think, yes, the price is down, but the price only has farther to go in the future.
Well,
what are your thoughts
what
on
I would
that?
say, Jebb, is the reason why, and this leads right into the misunderstanding number one that is causing this Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price not to rally so quickly, is that Bitcoin is still being viewed largely as a risky asset. Not maybe by viewers of this channel, and not by maybe the vast majority of people that watch YouTube daily and they're been integrated. But when it comes to outsiders and people just now getting into Bitcoin, it is still viewed as a risky asset. And one of the things about that is right now, as the US dollar inflates, so Jebb just read that article about the inflation of the US dollar. What happens is when something is viewed as a risky asset, like a stock, when the dollar gets inflated, rather than flooding to those stocks, people get a little afraid and they pull their money out. Now, as Jebb just said, Bitcoin was created to be the hedge against this inflation, but because it's not being viewed that way, it's not operating that way. But when people ask, why is Bitcoin's price continuing to be kind of held down, it's because of this number one misunderstanding, because we have another one coming up here in a second, but it is because it is still being viewed as a risky asset. And as someone said in chat, and as Jebb was talking about, education of Bitcoin is going to be key as we move forward.
Yeah, so guys, I'm actually going to read directly from our planning document here. I want to tell you some of the things that some of the points that we have to make about this, because as Tim said, many people still view Bitcoin as risky. Many of the people that are in cryptocurrency, those speculative investors who are just here for the gains, they see it as risky, but they're more inclined towards gambling. we're seeing a much bigger foundation growing every single day of people who say, no, this actually isn't risky. This is the future. Guys, there's always going to be some risk. We're not saying that there's no risk in Bitcoin. We are, however, saying that many people overinflate the risk in Bitcoin. This is not a new asset class anymore, guys. We've been here for 12 years. Bitcoin is a proven market with a proven use case, with a proven desire in our economy. So I just want to read a couple of notes that Tim and everyone in the planning meeting wrote here because they're really, really good. One thought that needs to be fleshed out is the thought that if Bitcoin did drop because of Elon Musk, it actually showed us something very positive. After Elon Musk said what he did, Bitcoin dropped all the way to $46,000 from $54,000. That's an $8,000 correction, depending on where you look. That drop occurred last night, and the price has already recovered and made it back to $50,000. So essentially what we're saying here is that even though Elon Musk spread a lot of FUD, made a lot of people think that Bitcoin is risky, half of that price has already been recovered. I've been under the assumption, and this is why I've been talking about support levels and trying to get you guys ready for something like this. I've been under the assumption that Bitcoin is inflated and that Bitcoin, not inflated, but that Bitcoin's price is a little higher than it really should be and that it was going to need some kind of correction. We said the same thing on Ethereum, and boy humbug, it happened, but Ethereum had a correction as well at the same time. The point here is that the risk that people are seeing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, people think it's there, but it's a boogeyman. It's FUD. It's as simple as that, guys. There's a big misunderstanding that Bitcoin is a risky asset class, and it really just isn't. Tim, do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, other than what we just talked about now.
It's really very simple. I would love for anyone in chat to give us some reasons why you think that Bitcoin is extremely risky. I actually would love to have an open conversation with our chat about this because I don't think that Bitcoin is anywhere near as risky as many people think it is. Let me say something that is probably a very popular opinion in cryptocurrency because I've heard a lot of people say this before, but I agree with it. I think being heavily in the US dollar is the risky thing. If you had bought the US dollar 100 years ago, bought it. If you had earned $100 in the US dollar 100 years ago, it'd be worth $2 now. It's useless. That is not the way that you build a stable economy. Now, the economy has grown massively over the last 100 years, due in large part to technological advancement, but not because we have a strong economy with a strong foundation. We've been eating free lunches. The US dollar is a highly risky asset class and not one that I would recommend you stay in for the long run. I think it's a horrible idea. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has exactly the opposite characteristic, and that's why it has value.
I'll tell you what else is more risky investment.
Not smashing the like button?
Well, no, I was actually going to say something serious.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang. I was convinced he was going to
I thought he was too, to be fair.
What makes Bitcoin more risky is not Bitcoin itself, but it's you not being educated.
Yeah,
so when you
it is true.
That's absolutely true.
When you get into investing in general, if you're not educated, everything you invest in is going to be a risky asset.
Yeah, guys, real quick, this is a bit of a side note, but I just want to tell you briefly why this channel exists. We believe very, very, very strongly in something. Smay just said his mic.
Oh my gosh.
Oops. Everybody's probably talking about that in chat. Sure, go ahead, and I'll make my point.
Okay, sorry, I'll repeat myself. So what I was saying, guys, sorry, my mic was muted. I was saying that investing in general, if you're not educated about the way you're investing, it's risky, right? So it's like if you are not educated, Bitcoin is just as risky as any other asset if you're not educated.
Yeah, guys, here's the thing. We believe very strongly in something here, and this is what it is. Cryptocurrency is not going to make you rich. And by the way, cryptocurrency is not going to make you broke. The US dollar is not going to make you rich, and the US dollar is not going to make you broke. Real estate's not going to make you rich, and real estate's not going to make you broke. The stock market, precious metal markets, Forex markets are not going to make you rich, and they're not going to make you broke. You know who will make you rich or who will make you broke? You. The core foundational belief behind every single thing we do here as a channel is based on my history and my story. I didn't have the easiest childhood. I was very blessed in many ways, but there were certain things that I didn't like about it. You know what I did? I took initiative, and I stopped waiting for someone to come in from outside my life and fix it for me, and I did it myself. And so many people are waiting for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to make them rich, or for the stock market to make them rich, or for the real estate to make them rich. If you want to be rich, if you want to be wealthy, if you really want to have an impact on this world like I have such a passion to do, you got to be proactive. And you got to do it yourself. You can't just sit around and wait for the world to do it to you. You have to go out and do it to the world. And that is what this entire channel and company is built on, is my belief that you can change your own life, but no one else can. I can help you. I can give you the tools. I can give you some assistance by giving you a curriculum and courses that will help put you in the right direction. But if you don't take that initiative, it will never happen. And it is incredibly risky to not educate yourself, because if you're not even willing to educate yourself on cryptocurrency, then you're certainly not going to be successful here, because if you can't take initiative to educate yourself, you're never going to take initiative to be successful here.
True.
So guys, if you can subscribe to that mindset and you want to learn more, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We have an ambitious goal, and I'm going to make it very public here so we have some accountability. We have an ambitious goal of 500,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's 7 months out, and I would love your help on that. If this is something you can get behind, subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep moving on. Tim, what you got to say?
Well, so, as we continue to move on and we begin to wrap out, because we're getting to our second misunderstanding about Bitcoin. Yep. What we do need to talk about, and based off what we were just saying, something you should know, which is very important, is that all of this being said, we saw the price drop, but we just saw the richest man. I know Elon goes back and forth whether he's the richest man, but one of the richest men in the world, if he doesn't have enough say to actually destroy something like the Bitcoin price, that is the definition of decentralized. Like, we have watched him be so effective in promoting things and killing things and just going back and forth. But what we saw yesterday was, yes, there was a temporary price drop in Bitcoin after what he said, and then we saw it bounce right back up. That is decentralization. As much as I love Elon, we just saw no matter what Elon does, he cannot break down and ruin Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is bigger than just one human. Yep. Could you imagine if that tweet had anything to do negatively about Dogecoin, and what would have happened to Dogecoin if he had said that?
Yeah.
That's something to think about.
Seriously. Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. Dogecoin is built on nothing but Elon Musk. This is why we've been saying, and I'm not going to preach about Dogecoin too much. I know you guys are tired of hearing about it, and quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it. But really quickly, the reason that you want to be careful about him saying the same thing about Dogecoin, and by the way, Dogecoin is proof of work also, so he probably also meant Dogecoin. Dogecoin is built on him, and I always forget his name. Shark Tank, Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban. I can never remember that guy's name. I love his sandwiches, but I can't remember his name for the life of me. Anyway, that was
okay.
Either way, guys, Dogecoin is built on the back of those and nothing else. Let's move on here, guys. Smash that like button if you are enjoying the stream. Here's an article that's pretty interesting, and a title that is definitely going to get your attention from 2 years ago, and is just as true today as it was when it was written. Bitcoin is good for the environment. Yes, it is. Let's keep going. A single Bitcoin block uses enough energy to power your house for a week. Bitcoin's energy usage is comparable to that of Nigeria, and even higher now. If the energy uses continue to grow at the same rate, Bitcoin will use all of the energy. I've heard it all, and I'm going to list some reasons why a fully adopted Bitcoin economy would actually reduce global energy usage and improve the environment. Let's go ahead and move on here. Mining encourages the growth and development of renewable energy. This is really good. Bitcoin mining rewards the most energy-efficient miners with the most profit, because they're going to make more money if they have to spend less money on profit. They're naturally going to be inclined towards the cheapest energy. And as a physics nerd, I can tell you that solar energy and many other renewable energy sources are very quickly becoming cheaper than coal-fired plants. In the United States, we're starting to see coal-fired plants shut down and more solar being built capitalistically. I've talked about this with the whole climate change thing before. There is the way that the whole climate change thing is going to be fixed is by making renewable resources more cost-efficient than fossil fuels, and luckily that is something that is happening very quickly, and Bitcoin can help with this. Mining is about maximizing the number of hashes per kilowatt of electricity. Currently, the most efficient way to generate the highest hashes per energy are through the use of solar and hydroelectric energy, because those are the cheapest ways to produce electricity. If Bitcoin continues to grow, the demand for solar energy will increase as folks rush to find cheaper ways to generate power. So let's go to full screen really quickly here. Here's the thing. Bitcoin is an energy-intensive activity. It was designed to be that way. And by the way, it is incredibly worth it, because Bitcoin is laying the foundation for a stable global economy, the likes of which we haven't seen in 150 years. I can talk about that for hours. I'm going to leave it at that, but it's a very, very, very worthwhile investment as far as energy is concerned. People mine Bitcoin to make money. It is a capitalistic endeavor. So if the technology gets to the point where renewable energies are more cost-effective than fossil fuels, then the miners are going to use them because they want to make more money. Well, here's the thing. That's happening. In fact, I don't have the chart in mind. I saw it a couple years ago, but I want to say, and I'm going to fact check myself on this, so Tim, if you can write a note for me to look this up and I'll tweet it out. I believe that in general, depending on where you are, the cost for solar power actually went below the cost for coal-fired power sometime around 2014. It depends on the state. I'm talking about a very sun-rich state like Arizona, but it is moving in that direction. That's a good sign for anyone who's concerned about this. Let's jump back onto my chart and move faster. Move forward, excuse me. Bitcoin infrastructure has a much smaller footprint than legacy financial systems. Guys, this is the one that blows it all out of the water. If people are worried about electrical consumption on Bitcoin, then clearly they're out of touch because our current financial systems, which employ literally tens of millions of people that don't even need to be there because you're trying to put a centrally planned economy on something that's perfectly capable of monitoring and running itself. I digress. They're not realizing this, but this is important. In order to make Bitcoin work, you need electricity, computers, and the internet. Period. Fiat currency systems require resources to print the money, oversee the oversight in order to make sure that the money is being allocated correctly, which you don't need because the free market is perfectly capable of doing it on its own. Fraud services, that's a whole other conversation. Entire organizations like the IMF and the Federal Reserve dedicated to preventing counterfeiting, money transport services, and more. The list goes on and is duplicated for every single fiat currency in existence. There are literally tens of millions of jobs and oodles and oodles and oodles of power being used on this that don't need to be there because currencies are perfectly capable of self-regulating themselves. And if you look throughout history, let's go full screen. I wanted to explain this. If you look throughout history, you look at the Roman Empire and the Roman Republic, you look at China. One of the 17 million times China broke apart. It happened because of centrally planning the economy and centrally planning the currency. You look at West Africa, you look at North America, you look at Polynesia. In so many different places around the world throughout history, when the currency was able to be operated based on free market principles like limited supply and demand, it succeeded. And as soon as the government came in and tried to start messing with it is when it failed and the entire society collapsed. Read the Bitcoin Standard if you haven't already. If you haven't read that book, you got to read that book. If you hate reading, I get it. Read the book anyway. You'll thank me later. There are so many systems right now in charge of running our currencies that use 100 times. I'm pulling that number out of thin air, but they use a lot more energy than Bitcoin does or ever will. There is not an issue with electrical consumption on Bitcoin. There's an issue with electrical consumption and resource waste in the current financial systems. Did you know that the entire Forex market, which does $5 trillion in daily trading volume, shouldn't even exist? That is literally, it's a derivative market, so most economists don't count it, but it is one of the largest markets in the entire world. The entire Forex market should not exist. Up until 100 years ago, when the world started moving off the gold standard, when gold stopped being redeemable from your currencies, all currencies were pegged identically. They all moved together because they were all based on the underlying asset gold. So there was no Forex market. The Forex market is a giant waste of time and money and electricity. People don't talk about that, though, because they don't understand, and this is why education is important, and that is why we are bringing it to you. Let's see what chat's saying.
You know, people talking about John Paul Valestro just said washing machines take more electrical consumption than Bitcoin. There was a funny tweet from
what's his name?
Safadian
almost posted that. Yeah, we talked about that.
So yeah, he talked about how, and he said, actually, and did you know that most cereal, can I say that word?
I don't know. But
most criminals use washing machines? And so he was just poking fun at the joke.
Yeah, I think we should ban washing machines because their energy use. Guys, this...
Yeah.
How far does this go? Really? How far does the whole, oh my gosh, we're using too much electricity go? Look, I am all for saving the planet. I love that. I am a gigantic nature buff. I love being in the outdoors. I'm wearing an Appalachian Trail t-shirt right now. You know how much I love the outdoors? You know how much I want to protect the environment? I am so big on the environment. I just disagree with the methodology. I think that if you use capitalistic forces and make renewable energy cheaper than fossil fuels, it will happen naturally. But if the government comes in and tries to say, no, we're going to do it on our own, has that ever worked? The answer's no.
No, okay, so wrapping all of what he just set up, because this was the whole thing, was that there was two misunderstandings. We already talked about misunderstanding one was that Bitcoin is still viewed as a risky asset, right? Yep. But misunderstanding two is that Bitcoin is not the massive environmental monster that people are accusing it of being. So I've seen in this chat people talk about Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor responded to...
Yeah, I had that tweet up.
To do you want to read that one for him?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead
Read
and
that
jump
one
on my
real quick.
screen, and I will read this tweet by Michael Saylor.
And after that, we're going to wrap out the Elon stuff and move into Cardano.
Indeed. Ironic because Michael Saylor here responding to Elon Musk, he said, ironic because no incremental energy is used in a Bitcoin transaction. The energy is used to secure the crypto asset network, and the net impact of fossil fuel consumption over time will be negative, all things considered. What he just said in that tweet wraps up everything I just said in the last 5 minutes in a nice, neat bow because I'm bad at being concise. Let's go to full screen. What he's saying is that traditional financial systems use much power. Bitcoin, comparatively, use little power. There's difference.
Yeah.
That difference is good. That's what he's saying, and it's a big deal.
Yeah. So again, we have said a lot. What I want to go ahead and let's wrap up 3 different points that we need to be aware of what we need to know from this Elon Musk tweet. I've seen a lot of people in comments saying like, "Oh, Musk." Here's the thing. Musk is still a brilliant man. There's still a lot he has. This should not be cancel Musk. Boycott Tesla.
Oh, absolutely not.
These are the 3 things that we need to look at when we are looking at the tweet. The number one thing to keep in mind is that Tesla is not selling their Bitcoin.
Yep.
That was the first thing that he talked about, is that they're not going to sell. They're not going to be buying anymore, and they're not going to be accepting, which in the long run, I don't know how many people were spending Bitcoin on Teslas anyway. But he was very clear they are not selling their Bitcoin, which leads to the question of, if Bitcoin is so terrible and if it's done, because I think a lot of people are asking based off the news, is Bitcoin done? Is Bitcoin dying? If it's so terrible, why wouldn't they sell? Why are they going to go ahead and hold their Bitcoin? Which leads to the second thought that we need to have. And that is that he states that he will return pretty much. He implies he will return when the problems with fossil fuels usage goes down. So again, we just talked about that. That's a misunderstanding that it is bad for the environment. But he didn't even say he's done futuristically with accepting Bitcoin. Which leads to the third and speculative thought that we need to ask is, Musk is very brilliant and he knows a lot of people and he understands the influence he has on this world. So is this Musk trying to put pressure on Bitcoin maximalists to accelerate efforts to move to sustainable energy? Because no one in their right mind will ever argue that sustainable energy is not a good thing. That's not the point. Is Musk, who is very pro-environment and trying to get us to go there, is he simply trying to push the envelope and get people to get there quicker? Jebb, I want to hear your take on that very quickly.
No, I think that, to be honest with you, I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's always been about saving the environment, and he's always been about transitioning the world of fossil fuels. I think what he's doing is, number one, somebody from his PR is saying, but Elon, the entire brand of Tesla is about being good for the environment, and Bitcoin uses a lot of electricity. You're killing your brand image if you don't do something about this. I can almost promise you that that is a conversation that happened behind closed doors. But besides that point, I think Elon Musk might also be using this as a strategy, like Tim said, to help move miners in the direction of sustainable resources by using his company's adoption of Bitcoin and holding it hostage like that. I think that's very true. Quite frankly, he wants to save the Earth and he wants to send us to Mars. That's what Elon Musk is about. If he can manipulate his own usage of Bitcoin to advance those causes, I would expect him to do that. He's in business to advance a cause. We're in business to advance a cause. I can't actually blame him on that. And guys, I don't hold a single thing against Elon Musk. And by the way, I don't agree with a single person saying that we should cancel Elon Musk or we should boycott Tesla. Stuff like that is how we got in this position in the first place. I don't want to play their game. But I can disagree with him. Just because I disagree with him and just because I'm passionate doesn't mean I want to cancel Elon Musk. I respect the man. I think he's very intelligent. I think he's done a very good job building Tesla, and I like Teslas as vehicles. So I'll wrap that out with a nice, neat bow right there. Yep. Guys, make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's get to 1,000 likes, and subscribe to the channel if you want more content.
Closing point before we move to Cardano is, at the end of the day, what we can take away, if you are concerned by these Bitcoin woes, the truth is you probably should go ahead and sell and get out. Yep. Because this was not the first time, and it for sure will not be the last time that these questions come up. Oh, is Bitcoin dying? Is Bitcoin going to the grave? Is Bitcoin no longer worth it anymore? So if you cannot stand, and if you can't have those diamond hands, and if you can't see the future of what Bitcoin is going to be able to accomplish, it probably is time for you to go ahead and get out. But if you read your history, and if you watch what's happening in Bitcoin, and you look at the basics and the underlying principles of what it is accomplishing, and you believe in the future, it's time to just say, all right, sometimes the price goes up and sometimes the price goes down. Sometimes the news looks really good and makes us want to FOMO, and sometimes the news looks really bad and makes us want to have a lot of fear and doubt. At the end of the day, though, you've got to keep your mind focused long term. And if you can't do that, the best thing for you to do is go ahead, cut your losses, take your profit, and go.
Yeah, guys, I tell you all the time. I was actually telling someone this yesterday in a meeting we were having. Risk tolerance is very important. If you're not tolerant to this risk, that's fine. There is nothing wrong with not wanting to be part of the cryptocurrency market. But that's a serious conversation you need to have with yourself. Are you tolerant? Are you able to deal with the risk in cryptocurrency? I say risk, but what I really mean is that Bitcoin can go down sometimes. We talked about earlier how Bitcoin is nowhere near as risky as people perceive it to be, but at the end of the day, it's a market. It's gonna have risk with it. Something you need to talk to yourself about. Take a serious look in the mirror if that's something you haven't done. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to Cardano. Let's jump onto my screen, and I have an interesting theory that I think you guys will be interested in hearing about Cardano, because as we can see, the vast majority of the top cryptocurrencies are down nearly or over 10%. Litecoin's down 12%. Bitcoin Cash is down not enough. Binance Coin is down 7%. Dogecoin's down 14%. Bitcoin down 10%. So is Ethereum. There's an outlier. That outlier is Cardano. Cardano is up 4.76%. What gives? Cardano certainly didn't get the memo that it was supposed to dump like everything else. We have this inverse head and shoulders pattern. By the way, we had a price target at $1.88. It hit $1.87. I'm going to call that a win. Let's go to full screen. I actually don't really have a lot that I want to show you on the technicals about Cardano, but I do have a point I want to make that I think you will appreciate. What I was talking about earlier is that Bitcoin was inflated. Not that Bitcoin is in a bubble, or not that Bitcoin is worth more than it really should be, but Bitcoin's value. Think about where the $1 trillion of value is coming from. Let's say $650 billion of it was coming from strong investors who have diamond hands, who believe in the project, who are here for a long time. Let's say that it's $650 billion. That leaves another $350 billion worth of money in the cryptocurrency space from people that are super speculative, people that are newer to the cryptocurrency space, people that are here for a week and then they want to leave. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're newer to the cryptocurrency space, we talk about all the time how we love our crypto noobs. I want to help teach you guys. I love you guys. But there is a tendency for people to act very erratically. It's the reason that cryptocurrencies are so volatile, or at least it's one of the reasons. Funnily enough, we've been asking an interesting question the last 4 months. Why is Bitcoin moving so much? Why is Ethereum moving so much? Why is Dogecoin moving so much? We've been asking a different question about Cardano. We've been asking the question on Cardano, why isn't Cardano moving as much as these other cryptocurrencies? I have a theory. And my theory, based on my 4 years of experience in this market, I'm pretty sure is right. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, and all these other big coins that have been rallying so much are rallying on hype and FOMO and people being excited about the future, but not necessarily on strong, foundational, fundamental investor development. Cardano has not had that icing on the cake. Let's say that this bit right here, this 65% is the strong foundation of these coins. All these other coins have this little bit of icing. Cardano doesn't. Bitcoin and Ethereum are losing this icing, and then they're coming down here to where they should be. Cardano never had it in the first place. My point is, Bitcoin and Ethereum were slightly overextended. Cardano wasn't. And so when Cardano's starting to rally right now, it makes perfect sense to me from everything we've been saying for the last 2 months on this channel. Cardano, unlike all the other top 10, has not been overextended. And so therefore, it doesn't need a correction. Have you heard me say one time on this channel that Cardano is in need of a correction? One time. I haven't said it. I've said it a lot on Bitcoin. I've said it a lot on Ethereum. I've said it an exorbitant amount on Ethereum, on Dogecoin. Haven't said it once on Cardano. And guess what? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, these other inflated currencies are pulling back because they needed to correct. Cardano didn't need to correct, so therefore it's not. It's very simple. And guys, this is what I'm talking about when I say it's important to invest in your education in cryptocurrency. If you want to be able to read the markets like I can, if you want to be able to look at these markets and understand what's going on and not be blindsided and surprised when things like this happen, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel because we talk about this every single day. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about technical analysis and how to read these markets so that you will be prepared to be a profitable trader and investor. Tim, what are your thoughts on this, buddy?
Okay, so, I mean, my take on Cardano, I've said this before, I really like it, but Jebb, I want to kind of, bounce and hear your thought on this as well. I think you responded to me on this before. But here's the thing. Charles Hoskinson had a video, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, where he pretty much said, please never ask me about Cardano price. Please never ask me to give you a price prediction because I do not care. That is not my concern.
Yep.
When I watched that, it sounded pretty similar to an interview that Jeff Bezos had.
I was about to
when
say that. Yep.
Amazon's price was not doing so well. I don't remember what year it was exactly.
It was in like 96, 97. It was somewhere before the dot-com bubble.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
So pretty much what Bezos was saying was, I don't need the price of my stock to dictate to me how well my company is doing. In other words, I don't care what the price is. Stop asking me. What I care about is the efficiency of my company. Now, at that time, a lot of people were asking the question, oh, what is Amazon good for? It's really not that good. The price is dropping. It's not. And they probably sold and got out.
Yep.
And I guarantee you they are kicking themselves for doing that, because those who saw Bezos' vision and his efficiency and what he dreamt as a product for Amazon understood, hey, I don't need whoever's running the show to be worried about the price. I need them to be worried about the efficiency of the product.
Listen to that. Say that again. Listen to what he just said, guys. This is one of the core tenets of what we say when we're investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. If you miss this, you missed the whole boat. I hate to interrupt you, but that's really big. That's great. Say that again.
It is that I don't need whoever's running the show to be worried about the price. I need them to be worried about the efficiency.
Amen.
So, whereas other coins have different types of purposes, Cardano was made for a specific purpose that it hasn't even yet fully achieved. But we are seeing every single day them get closer to doing exactly what they set out to do. So, we don't need Charles to worry about the price. We need to believe in what Charles is doing, and seeing that Charles's vision is coming more true day in and day out, we can know that price is about to skyrocket. And what makes it nice and kind of just warm and fuzzy for your heart is that price will skyrocket as people who have been in need for thousands of years will be helped and be lifted up out of economic turmoil. So not only is it going to help your wallet, it's going to be good for the world. That is something you need to look at for Cardano. I believe that similarly to how Amazon exploded due to the fact that Bezos wasn't too worried about the price, but about the product, we're going to see the same thing happen with Cardano. Hoskinson doesn't care about the price. He cares about the product, and therefore the price will follow.
Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, the price is downstream from the product. So if you have a bad product, the price might be whatever it is, but it's going to crash. This is a good example. Dogecoin. Cardano, on the other hand, doesn't care about the price. It has a great product. That is why you should be invested in it. Guys, Dasa actually just said in chat that we just hit a new all-time high on concurrent viewers. Thank you if you are new to the channel. Guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me tell you why. I'm not just going to tell you subscribe to the channel and not tell you why. I know you're asking that question. Here's why you should subscribe to the channel. Because this is the only channel, not the only channel, but one of the only channels in cryptocurrency that holds integrity as a core value and actually means it. I'm not going to lie to you just because it's popular. I'm not going to tell you something even though I know it's wrong just because it'll get me views. I'm going to tell you what's true. I'm going to strive every single day to be honest with you so that you can be successful in the cryptocurrency markets. And if I ever fail at that, you better call me out, because that is why I'm here. And if I ever forget where I came from, then I don't want to know where I'm going, because it's going to be bad. If you want to be involved with a channel that puts you first, subscribe. Period. Guys, we have a minute until the stream's over. Shall we go into overtime?
I say it looks, based off of what we are doing currently with concurrence, and my screen for some reason doesn't update the likes, but we are sitting, as Dasa pointed out, we are sitting at an all-time high for our channel of concurrence, and we are at 1,000 views.
Our all-time high.
It was. It hit 35.85 for a second.
Our all-time high is 38.
Dasa was wrong. Guys, go grab your dog and your grandma and your neighbor and get them in this chat. We gotta go. Sorry, stream's a failure.
Just kidding. No, we are going to go into overtime. And so we just went a lot into detailing what happened in Bitcoin yesterday. What are the two massive misunderstandings that caused it? And then also Cardano, like a fish swimming against the stream.
They don't care.
Just didn't get the memo that crypto was supposed to drop yesterday. So now I want to open it up to answer questions. I know I saw some questions earlier about Ethereum. I saw some questions about XLM. But
Lumens.
Ask questions. We will be able to answer you for the next 15 minutes. Also, we were joking about it earlier. There was concern of, the price of Bitcoin. Is it going down? Here's the thing. One might say, and this is for all my sports fans out there, Bitcoin currently is sitting in the third quarter down 28-3. But guess who joined the team a couple days ago?
9 touchdown Tim.
Well, not even. I'm the backup. Tom Brady, the GOAT, who knows what it's like to be down 28-3 in the third quarter, is on the team. So if he can't get the job done, then yes, 9 touchdown Tim, we're here.
9 touchdown
But
Tim.
I want to give the young man a shot. I want to get Tom. He's shown some promising.
Isn't he
moves,
like 10 years older than you?
I think he's a lot older. I think he's 43
like
or 44 or something.
44.
My man old. But
My man 15 years older than you. Guys, it's really funny. We have a company of 13 people now. Up until 2 days ago when we hired someone new, Tim was the oldest person in our entire company at 27. I get a lot of laughs about that one. That's pretty funny.
Wait, we hired somebody older than Tim?
Yeah, Greg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Greg, if you're watching this stream.
Greg's the old man on the block now.
Wow.
Yeah, was he 31?
Boomer.
31.
31. Guys,
Yeah.
we have, oh my goodness. 60 seconds. Drop some questions. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes answering questions and interacting with you guys because I love talking to y'all. There are some things going on behind the scenes that I'm not going to tell you all about right now. But you better believe me when I say by the end of this year, you are going to be so glad that you know this channel because we have some amazing products coming out, guys. We have some amazing launches coming out. There are so many things in the works behind the scenes. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to show you. I cannot wait to show you. I'm so excited. Hit that subscribe button if you want to be on the ride of your lifetime as far as YouTubers are concerned. Someone said, baptize me, Jebb. I'm a believer now.
Oh.
Let's go, Oliver. Okay. Good deal.
Carlos Ayala says, "What does my boy Thicky Smay think about Cardano?"
Yeah, Thicky Smay, what you got?
Get his take. I know you're muted at the moment, Thicky Smay.
Unmute myself.
There you go.
What do I think of Cardano? I think it's a cool project.
Wow,
Nice.
To the
Insightful.
point. To the point.
Insightful.
Another question we had. So from Freestyle Fighter. I don't know if I know the answer to this, and I don't know if Jebb does either, but I'm going to ask him. Jebb, can you explain auto deleverage fully?
Okay, so, gosh, how do I explain this? I've never explained this on camera before. ADL over on Bybit. By the way, if you don't already know, we have an affiliate link for Bybit down below. Bybit's a fantastic exchange. I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't. If you sign up down there, you help to support this channel. We're very appreciative for everyone who signs up down there. ADL is something... Gosh, if you're on Bybit, there is a tooltip, and it explains exactly how it works. I'm not familiar with all of the exact workings of how it works, but essentially what it is that when you are leveraging on exchange, you are borrowing money from the exchange to place a trade, and they want their money back at some point. So if you've been in the trade for too long, they'll kick you out of the trade, and they'll close you, hopefully in profit. It's something, there's a little ADL meter. I think it has 5 little dots over on Bybit. You got to watch out for that. It's hard to explain. If you want... Tim, write a note on that. Come back in tomorrow's stream. I will explain it better. It's not something that I'm going to be very good at explaining on the spot.
Freestyle Hour, you tweet at me a lot. Tweet that at me. And
tweet that at us, and we'll get back to you on that.
Sure do it. Another good question. We had a super chat. We actually had 2 super chats. I'll ask both of them real quick. First of all, is this a good dip to buy some more Ethereum and Bitcoin?
I ask the same question every time I get this question. People hate me when I do this, but I always respond to that question with 2 questions. 1, what's your time horizon? 2, what's your risk tolerance? Number 1, how long are you planning on being in Bitcoin and Ethereum? And 2, how much risk are you willing to withstand? Are you trying to retire in 12 months and you can't take much risk because you're about to lose your income? Or are you 20 years old like me and you got your whole life ahead of you and you can take risks and jump around and be agile right now because you don't have a wife and kids and a family to take care of? Answer those 2 questions. That will help you. And here's a third one to chew on. How much should you invest in? Always think about it like this. How much can you afford to lose? Cut that number in half. You should never invest more than that. Is it a good time to buy more Ethereum and Bitcoin? Using those questions, if you have a high time horizon and you're planning on being here for 10 years, yes, absolutely. It's a fantastic time to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, in my humble opinion. If your time horizon is a week, well, the next week might be bad for Bitcoin and Ethereum. We can't really tell exactly right now. I'm going to do some more technical analysis on that in tomorrow's stream, more than likely, so make sure you tune in for that. I think it is if you have a high time horizon and a decent risk tolerance. But at the end of the day, you have to answer that question for yourself. I can't give you that answer, but I can give you some guidelines on how to answer it. Good question.
Good, yeah. Next question. Is proof of stake, if proof of stake is objectively better than proof of work, wouldn't Ethereum definitely flip Bitcoin in the long run? That's a complicated...
That is a complicated question. I disagree that proof of stake is objectively better than proof of work. Proof of stake is better in certain circumstances. Proof of stake for something like Ethereum, yes, proof of stake is better for Ethereum. Proof of work is far better for Bitcoin. I don't have time to get into all the reasons why that is, but quite simply, let me put it this way. Bitcoin and Ethereum are not competitors. They're doing 2 completely different things. And so therefore, they need 2 completely different infrastructures. They need 2 completely different consensus algorithms. Bitcoin doesn't actually need to process a ton of transactions. I can explain that in another video. Bitcoin is more than likely going to be a standard that other currencies will be built on top of in the future. Safadin almost talks about that in chapter 12 or whatever. It's the last chapter of the Bitcoin standard. Ethereum, on the other hand, is attempting to be essentially a global computer. So it needs to be able to handle millions of transactions every single day. So it needs to be proof of stake. I don't think that that's going to lead to Ethereum flipping Bitcoin because they're not competitors. If Ethereum flips Bitcoin, then that just means that it solved its problem better than Bitcoin solved its problem, and its market was probably better. It's a good question. I don't think that that would be the reason that would happen, though.
Do you have an opinion, Jebb, on VeChain with VeChain and BitTorrent? Yeah, BitTorrent.
VeChain is one that I quite like. In fact, I was talking to a pastor yesterday who is invested in VeChain. I don't know a lot about BitTorrent. I think one of you guys has talked about it a bit.
We did a little research. I think we couldn't go into detail on this stream. We'll talk with Doss about it, and we can do more.
Okay, yeah, we have a report written somewhere on BitTorrent. By the way, one of the things we're working on behind the scenes is our information team is in the process of setting up an entire database of information and research. So pretty soon, I'm just going to be able to pull up some of our research articles on stream and read them to you. So pretty soon, whenever you guys have a question about an altcoin, I'll just be able to pull that up and say, boom, in our database, I have an article from our information team on that. So stay tuned for that. That's one of those really cool things that's coming down the pike that we talked about. As far as VeChain is concerned, though, I do know a little bit more about VeChain off the top of my head. Guys, it's hard for me to catalog and in 200 altcoins in my brain, so you have to forgive me on that. But VeChain, from what I know, is working in supply chain logistics. It seems like a pretty good project. We've talked about it in other streams. That's the best I'm going to be able to give you right here, though. Good questions, guys. Thank you for the donations. Matt C. donated $10. You donated quite a bit, my friend. We are fueling Smay's new Smangatang chair from your donations. Thank you so much. You guys start my day with enthusiasm to continue on my crypto indoctrination. Buy this dip, people. Great opportunity. We're trying not to be indoctrinative, but hopefully we are supportive. Thank you so much for that, Matt.
You see the Matty E one?
I see Devon Smith and
That's a good amount,
XRpreneur. Let's see. I did not see that one. Which one?
There's a lot. Matty
E.
E.
Matty E. Yeah. Almost 80% of Cardano's circulating supply is being staked. Exactly. It's taken out of circulating supply. The supply went down. The demand stayed high. If you know anything about economics, this is Economics 101. That's going to cause the price to go up. That's a big deal. If that's not a glaring demonstration of belief in a project, I don't know what is. Exactly. Amen. We totally agree with you, my friend. Thank you for the donation.
Yeah, then there's the Devin Smith one. What do you think about Gensler saying most cryptos are securities? How do you think they will define securities in this space in the future?
Look, guys, the Howey test was developed in the 30s, I want to say, in the Supreme Court. The Howey test has already been applied to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not a security. We're pretty confident that Ethereum will never be classified as a security. XRP has been taken to court on allegations of it being a security, and quite frankly, I think it is. I do have my questions about Binance Coin. Most cryptocurrencies being securities, to be honest with you, the way a lot of cryptocurrencies launch, where there's a company with a product, and then they launch the cryptocurrency to make a profit so that they can fund their project, she might not be wrong.
Yeah, I was about to say.
She might not be wrong.
Even Cardano might there could be questions there.
There could be questions. I'm inclined to believe that Cardano is not. It's possible. It really is just one of those things where it's so complicated how you define a security. That's why if you look up a video on how to define securities, you're going to be more confused than when you started because it's such a complicated thing. One thing we do know is that Bitcoin is not a security, period, bar none. People ask me all the time, what should my portfolio split be? I always recommend 50% Bitcoin at least at bare minimum, and that's one of the reasons. Great question.
Man, a lot of questions.
A lot of donations. Thank you, guys.
There's one XRpreneur.
XRpreneur.
I'm assuming you're an XRP fan. All caps. I don't know if that's to be intense or you're angry or I don't know. So can you tell me what government or central bank Bitcoin or Ethereum developers are working with? Question marks 3 times.
They're not.
They're not. Yeah, I'm saying that.
They're not.
I didn't really understand what's happening there, but
I'm not sure.
Thank you for your donation.
Thank you for your donation.
Yeah.
I think he was.
I think he was too. Someone asked, do you think Tesla Cardano could happen?
Maybe.
It'd be interesting, for sure.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's any evidence to support that it will.
I don't think that there's a partnership there, but there might be.
Someone said, I looked it up, someone said that I saw a comment saying Charles Hoskin tweeted it at Elon Musk. I didn't see it upon my immediate.
I don't see why they would partner with each other. Is the thing that I'm saying.
I know Charles Hoskin's view on Dogecoin, so would him and Elon butt heads on that? I don't know. Zach Roos said, I bought Ethereum Classic at 140. Should I hold?
Oh, gosh. My friend.
What is it at right now?
Oh, 90.
Oh, no.
You bought the top, my guy.
Oh, no.
Ethereum Classic. Elon Classic.
Elon Classic. That would be a coin, though.
That would be a coin right there.
If it hadn't been made, maybe I should start doing that.
Yeah, I would sell that and cut my losses if I were you. I'm not a financial advisor.
That sucks.
Think for yourself. But at the end of the day, this is why we don't. Guys, let me make a point out of this. I tell you guys all the time to be careful of buying FOMO. I sincerely hope you did not put a lot of money into ETH Classic. If you did, I'm sorry. Yeah. We can't fall into FOMO, guys. We have to educate ourselves. We don't have a choice. Like, literally, I come on this channel and I try and convince you guys every single day, hey, guys, taking initiative is important. Hey, guys, education is important. I'm not convincing you of an opinion. I'm convincing you of a cold, hard fact. And if you don't do it, it's not going to work out well for you. And I want to see it work out well for you. That means a lot to me. Yeah. It makes me very emotional when I think about that, because I know a lot of people, personally and professionally, that have bought into a project at the wrong time because they didn't do their due diligence and they didn't invest in themselves, they didn't educate themselves, and it hurt them. And this is a space that is supposed to help a lot of people, and I see a lot of people getting hurt by it because they didn't do the work. So I encourage you, subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more. Sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, linked in the description box down below. I'll teach you all I know about technical analysis down there, and invest in your own education. All
right, last question, and then we are going to wrap out the stream with updating you guys on where we are for tomorrow's price prediction. And that is, I think it's a simple answer. I don't know if it needs to be that complicated. What cryptocurrencies, Jebb, could eventually make you, or it says me, but like anyone, a millionaire?
All of them.
Yep.
Every last one of them, including Dogecoin, can make you a millionaire. You know how useful that advice is? Not very. If everything can make you a millionaire, then how helpful is that to you? You can become a millionaire in the real estate market. You can become a millionaire in stocks, precious metals, Forex, crypto. Dogecoin can make you a millionaire. It's made some people millionaires. Mm-hmm. The project doesn't make you a millionaire. You make yourself a millionaire. And that's what we teach on this channel, is that you can get lucky on a project, and yeah, it might make you a millionaire. But as someone who has made themselves a crypto millionaire, I can tell you from experience, it wasn't because I got lucky and bought the right coin. It wasn't because I picked the right cryptocurrency. It's because I invested in myself and I read books and I educate myself.
Yes.
Great question, and that's my answer.
Yes. Last question before I do, and this is not a question in chat, just to help you guys. Jebb, do you have a platform, a trading platform that you like to use?
Yes, guys, I recommend Bybit. The link for that is down below. It is an affiliate link. If you want a fantastic cryptocurrency trading platform, Anyway, if you want a fantastic... I was about to tell you a funny story from earlier. Unrelated. Yeah, we're running out of time. If you want a fantastic leverage trading platform where you can leverage trade, if you know what you're doing, Bybit is a great option. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't want to use leverage, that's fine. Bybit is still a fantastic trading platform, but use the self-discipline not to use a ton of leverage. It's easy to lose money with it, but if you're an experienced trader, then using leverage can massively increase your profits, guys. Sign up for Bybit. Links in the description box down below. It does help to support our channel. We thank all of our signer-uppers.
We're so sorry if we were not able to answer your questions, but good news for you. If you did not get an answer to a question you asked, we want to answer your questions. We just ran out of time. So email us at our support email, support@cryptojebb.com, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible.
Yep.
But let's wrap out the stream on where we are. If you're new to the channel, every single Monday, the three of us, playfully compete by predicting where we think Cardano, Ethereum, and Bitcoin are going to be Friday at 9:30. So I'm going to update you guys on where we're sitting. So Bitcoin, 50,500. Unless something massive happens, I think that's a pretty safe bet for Jebb's $58,000 prediction. We didn't know that Elon was going to do his thing. We didn't know the US dollar was going to be inflated by 4.2%. So our predictions of 58,000 for Jebb, 60,000 for Smay, and 62,000 for Tim do not look like they're going to be anywhere close.
Yeah.
But we play who is closest, and in this case, being the least wrong gets you a win. So check back in tomorrow for that one. On Ethereum, we're in a very interesting race because Ethereum dropped quickly but could also raise quickly. So Jebb is currently sitting nice with his $4,300 prediction, but I'm sitting right behind him at $4,400, and Smay's at $4,766. I still think that one's anyone's game. Jebb looks nice where the position he's sitting in, but we could wake up. Yeah, you look nice too in real person.
Thank you.
I was talking about your prediction though. I would still say that one is anyone's game. And the last one in contested, and Smay, you weren't here, but we had to make the decision. Smay has been disqualified from Cardano's prediction for cheating.
What'd he do?
Because he
because of
your
that
price. Yeah.
Oh, right. So thank you.
Wait a second. I do want to say that I have video proof that was actually your idea, Tim, and I went with your idea.
It was not mine. Don't even try that, Smay, to come after me. You're the one who said,
I wasn't here,
what does Jebb
video
have?
Proof.
And you went up one.
You literally, so you set me up to get disqualified.
I did not set you
to
up
get rid of the
disqualified.
competition, so that is illegal.
I'm sitting at 199. I like my prediction, although Cardano is making a fast rally. Jebb says $2 even. Smay said 201, but again, he said 201 to trap Jebb right there in the middle. That is. Let us know in chat what you guys
Well, my
think
original
on that.
prediction was $2. What was I supposed to do?
Even, and then you looked at Jebb's and you changed it to 201.
Okay.
So.
Well, what was I supposed to do? My original prediction $2.
We gotta wrap out the stream.
Man, you guys
check
are
in
cheaters.
tomorrow, see
Can't
who
just
wins.
disqualify
Guys, if
without
we didn't get
telling
to your
me.
question, I very much apologize. It's been a crazy stream with a lot of people joining in. We want to thank every single one of you who has joined us and has spent time with us. We really do want to answer any of your questions that we weren't able to get to, especially everyone who donated. Thank you so very much. We do have an email. It's called support@cryptojebb.com. Please forward any questions over there or tune in tomorrow, and we will make sure to answer as many as we possibly can. Guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's live stream. Before we go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.